the Rambam writes, and Shulchan Aruch follows, and the Gemara follows, a man is never allowed to waste seed. Now, that does not mean that every time he's with his wife, it has to be for reproduction. So, first and foremost, he has to have a rabbi that tells him who, what, when, and how, meaning when he's allowed, when he's not allowed. So a man is obligated to have one boy and one girl. Until he has one boy and one girl, he is not allowed to simply just have fun, meaning he has to reproduce. But at the same token, he's not allowed to put his wife in danger. So let's say, for example, they got married. It's not about, oh, we're not ready yet. There's no such thing in Judaism. You got married because you're ready. If you're not ready, don't get married. So as soon as you're married, you have to try to reproduce. You're not allowed to use what the Goyim call protection or condoms and things like that. You're not allowed to use from the beginning. If you're getting married, it's for the purpose of reproducing and bringing an neshama to the world. There's no eter whatsoever that any real rabbi will ever tell you that as soon as you get married, you could just wait a few years until you have fun. No such thing. As soon as you get married, you have to reproduce, or at least try. Whether it actually ends up materializing or not is not, doesn't mean that just because you're young doesn't mean it actually works. Plenty of people spend hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars trying to do stuff that other people do for free. Just because you try doesn't mean it works. You have to have the effort. Hashem decides the consequences, decides decides what actually the results. So you have to try. Once the wife obviously is pregnant, then you could have intimacy as often as you can, as often as you'd like while she's pregnant, because even though it cannot bring another child while she's pregnant, that's one of the gifts that Hashem gave for you reproducing. You could enjoy those 9 months, if you will. Now, after your wife delivers, there's a period of time that could be a couple of months or more, depending on how long it takes your wife to heal, that you're not allowed to touch your wife even in her finger, because she's nida. She is impure. She's not allowed until the blood stops and she goes to the mikveh. So that's usually about a couple of months. After that, she goes to the mikveh. You can go back to being intimate. But at that point, you do not need to try to have another child again. And the reason why is because it's usually unhealthy for most women, not all women, to have a child right away a couple of months after you just gave birth. So for that, there would be an eter. You go to a rabbi, tell him what's going on. The rabbi will tell you exactly what to do, and there's different things that you can use. There is birth control pills, or there's suppositories that the woman puts in her private area before the man and the woman are intimate, and therefore that gives the seed a less likelihood of succeeding. It doesn't kill it like a condom does. It doesn't kill it like wasting seed out of the body. You're still doing everything naturally, but it decreases the chance of success. So it's not considered wasting seed. And that you're doing because you're allowed to do it, because actually trying to have a child at that time would actually endanger the life of the wife. And you're not allowed to endanger the life of the wife. Then a certain amount of time passes, 6 months, 8 months, a year and a half, whatever it is, however long it takes the woman to heal. Of course, you have you know yourself better than anybody else would know. The wife knows herself. And at that moment, that leniency stops, and you have to reproduce again. The man is obligated to have one boy, one girl. A woman is not obligated to have anything. Meaning that any time there's a child that comes to the world, the man has to thank the woman until the end of her life for it. Why? Because she did him a favor. She's not obligated to have kids. Only the man is obligated to have kids. So that means that when she decides to put her body to such turmoil and such difficulty, she's doing you a huge service. You should be grateful for the rest of your life because of it. But again, it doesn't mean that you have to reproduce for the rest of your life. You just need to have a Talmid Chacham tell you exactly when yes, when no, and that's the point of having a rabbi that has Yirat Shamayim, that knows who, what, when, and how, and it's going to tell you how to not only have a fantastic life spiritually, but also physically. You're allowed to enjoy yourself, you're allowed to do a lot of wonderful things, but you're not allowed to waste seed. You're not allowed to waste seed. There are ways to have intimacy without wasting seed, and like I told you, there's a couple of ways we just mentioned. But again, make sure that before you do anything, you have a Talmid Chacham that is an expert in this issue that will tell you what to do and how.